So again, all respectfully and professionally, I've heard a lot of this stuff before, so I'll probe you a little bit, but what were some of the things that the more time you spent in the enterprise, the less you liked and kind of pissed you off?
Yeah. I like to get things done. And enterprises seem to be like allergic to that. It felt like everything was perpetual. It was just like things took way longer than they ever should. I remember when I first came here, I was just blown, and it was just me, even, but I was just blown away by how much I could get done, like actual tactical work to get out in the field. But that was one of the problems is like you have so many people and now everybody wants to weigh in and you've got levels of approval, so now you got to go like, do you like it? Do you like it? And then that begets your design by committee, so then everything gets watered down. And that's really when I started, I had this experience over and over and I'm like, okay, this isn't just this one enterprise. You know what I mean? Because if you have that one, you work at a couple enterprises, maybe these are anomalies, but over and over, it was like, this is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. And then what happens is like, you never do anything that fun. All you're really doing, it seemed like, was optimizing a little bit, adding to, or just like trying to get slow incremental growth and change. So I didn't like that. And then also not knowing what your actual impact was. There's so many people. It's like, I do this one, I turn this cog, it's like, I'm over here and I'm turning this wheel. 17 people have to do something after me. 50 people have to do something before me. So I don't really feel the impact that I'm having at all, and especially if you're in marketing operations, you feel like you're supporting everybody else around you. And then it's even hard, maybe even more abstracted from the actual company performance, that you're having an impact on. So I didn't like that either. It was like, what value do I have here? I'm a counselor to people,
So that's the next part that I wanted to go into, because I've heard you give me that talk before. So let's go in the people counseling part, because I know like you said it just now, you're somebody that likes to get in there, get your hands dirty, actually do stuff, not only people manage. And it seemed like that was a huge part of your job, or almost the only job in some ways.
Yeah. It was overwhelmingly a big part of the job. And still to this day, I don't know, like, is that just the job of like a CMO at a big company? I don't know. I haven't asked enough people, I guess, but yeah, it was, well, the first part, here's the first, I guess, problem is you're inheriting an entire team. You're inheriting everybody. You didn't select one of these people. And you're coming into an environment, and every single enterprise, they'll never hire you if you come in and say in the interview, like, oh yeah, I'm going to fucking clean house. Like, I'm going to come in, we're just going to tear it all apart. I'm going to fix all this up. You'll never get hired. So you have to basically say, nope, everybody's going to stay. Like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to assess, evaluate, get people in the right places, and I don't like to fire anybody. Hopefully nobody really does. I don't want to fire people. I don't like to let people go. You have to, but I don't like it. And so just inheriting the team and then trying to make it work, that was just like, oh, I did not like that. I would have, the reptilian brain of mine would have been like, please, can we just fire everybody and start over? But the empathetic human brain is like, that's not right. That's not the right thing to do. So then I was always in this struggle of like, well, what's best for the company? What's best for the people? If I do what's best for the people, that's what's best for the company, sometimes not. So I learned a lot of lessons just in that. But then I also learned, like, and this about me, like, I really fully believe if there's challenges you're having at work, or if you're in an obstacle at work, it's directly related to something you're dealing with in your personal life, and sometimes to break through those things at work, you have to dig into that stuff. And when I hire people here, I tell everybody that, I tell everybody, this is how I operate when it comes to things. So like, if you're struggling with something at work, we may need to dig in. Now, I'm not going to try and get like deeply personal, but like mostly just like relating it to something, and that kind of thing. And
we call that Father Widup when that comes out. Yep.
Yep. And but when you inherit people, you don't know, are they going to be okay with it? And then you see people that just get stuck, and then you can clearly see, because I'm older, been there, done that, or whatever. You can just so clearly see like how they're stuck, and then they don't want to hear, the right thing. So I would carry all this home with me. So I'd see just people struggling at work, but not willing to like actually do the work to fix it. Then they would blame things, you know, and it was just so apparent to me. And some of those people, like, you want to help them and you can't, you know what I mean? And so then I would carry all this home with me, and some people would actually dig in with me on things. And then I would be carrying this other emotional weight with me too. You know, I was like, oh my God, oh God, like I feel bad for him or whatever. And so that was hard. And I think that either I don't do management, like that kind of stuff, the right way, or I do, but like the right way means like you shouldn't be managing that many people. Or when I hire people, just making sure, you know, like I do now, that they're okay with that. They kind of understand that, at least, you know. I think that's really mostly it. Like, you just understand, you know, that at least that like stuff you're dealing with over here is probably like directly related to just like, you know, personal stuff.